Welcome back. Bees are the heartbeat of the natural environment. Not only do they make life sweeter, but we need their skills for food to grow. Fires in George this week have threatened many hives, but thanks to the quick reaction of the Gift of the Givers NGO, scores of Mother Nature's workers have survived. We're going to speak now to one of the volunteers on that program. That is Owen. He's joining us from there, but I understand we're going to first take you to a report that we've been looking at over the past few days, detailing just the extent of the fires in that part of the country. Take a look.
Wildfires roared along the garden route this week. 8 people died and more than 35,000 hectares of land was reduced to ashes. Also in harm's way were 700,000 little bees. Enter the Gift of the Givers. Volunteers worked bravely to relocate 28 hives from the George Botanical Garden and Nelson Mandela University campus and various places on the Knysna corridor. Today, about 2 million rescued African workers are making the best of their sticky situation at the Gift of the Givers Bee Rehabilitation Center in Knysna. The heroic rescuers have identified another 100 beehives that will need to be relocated.
As promised, we're going to speak now to Owen Williams. He is one of the Gift of the Givers volunteers who've been part of that operation in George, saving those hives. Owen, a very good afternoon to you. So, how complicated a process is it to extract these bees, given the sensitive nature of these fires and the weather in George at the moment?
Yes, it's not an easy operation. We use very well experienced beekeepers. And those that are less experienced, we train them. And obviously one doesn't move bees in the daytime as such because they are out. We have to close them up and move them in the day. So we do cop a lot of stings. However, that's part of what we do. The greater picture of Dr. Suleiman, Gift of the Givers, we get in where people leave properties, invariably taking their valuables and their pets. Bees are left behind, and that's our job, to go in and fetch them and relocate them to safe areas.
Where did you find majority of these bees?
Well, so far all along the garden route, the 7 Passes road. At the moment, the biggest concern is in the wild area, the 66,000 hectares, where we could possibly have had, given on scientific data of densities, probably between 700 million and 1.4 billion Cape honeybees could have been eradicated by this fire so far. So it's critical for beekeepers who manage hives to manage their hives optimally so that ultimately they can repopulate and help the natural wild genetic pool reestablish later on.
And you've managed, Owen, I understand, to save and rehabilitate some 2 million bees. You can correct that stat for us if it's now out of date, and they are now at your rehabilitation centre in Knysna. Talk us through that process of rehabilitation.
Well, the rehabilitation really is just getting the bees out of the danger zone. Obviously, moving bees in daytime, they're very anxious, they're very alert, they're very defensive because the smoke is all around. They don't know which way to go. Right as we're standing, ashes falling around from a fire that's not even 7 kilometers away. So this disorientates the bees. We need to get those hives here. We need to place our sugar syrup feeding dishes, pollen substitute, and basically just try to calm them down as a waiting station, and then to look to relocate them elsewhere at a later stage.
That relocation, how does it work under normal circumstances? Where would the bees go?
What we do is we take them to areas that would be 10 to 15 kilometers away from the fires, hopefully cleaner air than we have right now, but an area that we know is well protected and there's zero risk of fire getting to them at that point. Water is also critical for bees, like all life.
Owen Williams from Gift of the Givers, no doubt will